Hi everyone, it's Sue. Welcome back. How are you all going? It's hot again here today, so I've got the fan going. So there's a little bit of white noise happening. I apologise about that. It's way too hot not to have it going. So I'm continuing on from my previous video where I was showing you how I'm going to put together a journal for each of my kids. And I did do Katie's, and excuse me. So off camera I did cover Matt's and Josh's as well. So I'm just using Tim Holtz fabric for the boys, so they're similar but not the same. So theirs have been done. I'll have to do a bit of gluing there by the looks of it. So this is becoming a bigger project than what I realised because it took me basically a day to organise the signatures for Katie's journal. That's okay though. Jim was saying to me, you know, you just make work for yourself, but it's all about the detail. I love all the little details and I want it to be really special for them. So I just wanted to show you that I've started putting the boys together, and then we'll work on putting the signatures into Katie's. So this is Katie's, okay. And then just trying to think where we got to in the last video. So we did this, we organised the spine, and then this is another Kathy Holden fabric that I'm going to have on the inside of the spine, okay. And then we also have our template. So that's where I'll use this to sew each signature in. Now before we get to that, I just wanted to show you, or I can just show you on here, I've got some signatures or some papers and that here ready, well started to be ready for the boys' journals. I need a lot more than that. So in Katie's, I think I said, what did I say? I think I can't find my piece of paper that I wrote it on. I think I said that in the last video that I was going to do 11 signatures. Well, that's not happening because there was no room for, once you start adding, embellishing the pages and decorating the pages and that sort of thing, it was just going to be really, really wide-mouthed. And I might even find that this may even be the same. Now, I'm not sure why. Oh, I've got the clip on here just so that I know that that's the top, so I don't keep getting myself confused. So you can see there, I do have a little bit of room for decoration. It's not going to be really thick anyway because it's mainly going to be photos, a little bit of collage possibly, and just some journaling, I'm thinking at this stage. But you know what, if it becomes really big, what does it matter? Or do I drop another signature? I'm just trying to think. So anyway, I was going to do 11 and then I decided I would do 7. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 signatures with 7 pages in each one. Mainly because it works out perfectly, because I thought, well, if I do one, skip the other one that I was going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, it's 6. Why did I get 7? 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh well, that's good. Okay, I'm going to drop one of these signatures, and then that will give me more room to be able to play and create. So I'm just going to, because I did put a few pretty papers in Katie's signatures, and I've left most of the paper fairly plain because I want to do my decoration. No, I'm going to leave that one there. Sorry, let me just think about this. Take that one out. This one here. So I want to do my decoration as I go. So I learned when I did my own junk journal, which is here. So this is my junk journal that I did, which I really need to get back to. And what I did was I decorated the pages as I made it. Oh, some of the pages I have journaled in, but I decorated the pages, and I found it really hard because sometimes, you know, like this was done when I put the journal all together, you know, all this sort of stuff, which I wish I had have left it all plain, and then I could have decorated as I went, if that makes sense. Because I just find sometimes the pages just don't suit what I want to do, that's all. So yeah, I love this thing. I should get back in and journal in it, shouldn't I? Anyway, reminiscing now. So yeah, so that's why I'm leaving them blank, so that I can decorate as I feel I want to. All right, now, so that's good. By the end of doing these signatures, I had enough. So that's, I'd obviously counted wrong. So let me just check. So I'm going to do the first one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 signatures with 7 pages. And then let's have a look at that now. Okay, so that gives me a little bit more room for growth. Okay, so some of you might say, why do you have all the threads hanging? That's just what I like. I love that look. I love that it's tactile. You don't have to do that. You can just have no threads hanging. You don't have to sew. One thing I did want to show you is that because of the size of this journal, which is 12 inches by 9, I had to use A4 sheets, which was perfect because they fit perfectly in the cover. So you can see there's just a tiny little bit top and bottom, tiny little bit top and bottom, and then a tiny little bit on the side. Okay, now I do have a video on my YouTube channel, and I'll try and remember to put the link to it down below, on how to hinge pages. It's one of my most watched videos, which surprises me because, yeah, I just didn't expect that it would be. But it's a question that I get quite a lot, and I refer a lot of people to that video. So what I've done is I've just got A4 sheets of paper, and I have cut a 1-inch piece of paper. So I just use normal copy weight paper, 80 GSM. You can use heavier if you want to. I just don't want to bulk up the spine area too much. But what I do is I join the pages. What I might do is I'll get one and I'll just show you. Most of you will know how to do it, but I just, if there's any beginners here that may not, I'll just show you very quickly. So I've cut a heap. I'm going to have to cut a heap more because I've still got the 2 journals for the boys to do, but I just cut them approximately 1 inch. They don't have to be perfect. Just they have to be at least, I think, 1 inch wide for it to sort of get the sheets in there and hold them in there properly. Okay, so what I do generally is grab a book to glue on. And find some glue, and I'm just using a glue stick mainly because I'm going to sew. Now if you're not going to sew, I'd probably use a glue that's much more stronger than a glue stick. This is just enough to hold it down in place for me to be able to sew. And like I said, you don't have to sew. It's a lot of work, especially in this size journal, to do the sewing, but luckily I enjoy it. So all you do then is you just pop one of your pages about halfway in. Got the shakes today. Halfway into your hinge, and just burnish that down. And then you can get your other page, whatever it is, and just put it, and I just leave a tiny little gap. Oops. Just leave a tiny gap in between the papers like that. Burnish that down, and then you do exactly the same for this side. So then what I do is I just tip it this way, and you can see I haven't got it perfect. It doesn't matter. It's a junk journal and it's not about perfection. So I put glue just down there, and then I line this one up with that, burnish that, and then I just get a ruler and just find where that crease is. Fan is playing havoc, isn't it? And I just fold that down. Now probably be best to wait until the glue has dried, but as I said, this isn't going to glue perfectly, so if you were going to just leave your hinged page like that, you would need to have a more sturdy glue, like a PVA, art glitter glue, something like that, Tiger Grip, whatever you normally use. But then that's your hinge. So what I then do is I sew down here and I sew down here, and then I like to leave my threads. So easy as that. So you can, if you can make any size journal and hinge. Now some of you may say, why don't you just get A3 paper? Well, I'm not going to go and buy a ream of A3 paper because I don't make journals this big that often. I normally make them so that an A4 piece can just fold in half. But if you've got A3 paper, that's great if you're making this size journal, because it'll just fold in half, and then you have this basically without the hinge. Once again, I just love the texture that it gives to the pages as well. That's just a couple of things. Now I have made a journal using this part of a pianola roll before, but I was watching Kate at Pixie K Designs the other day, and she had this as a signature cover, one of these as a signature cover. And my first idea for the kids' journals was, each of them I have a song that, what am I trying to say, that I remember, and I sort of, every time I hear it, I think of that particular child. Oh, I'm getting all teary. So Katie's is Little Ray of Sunshine. So I wanted to, in each of the journals, to start off their journal, I was going to write out or type out or somehow put the lyrics to their song and explain that. So, and then I thought I'd put a photo of them as a baby, or them with me when they were a baby, or something like that, and just explain why the song, why I associate that song with them. So when I saw Kate with that, I just went, perfect, that's exactly what I want. So I might decorate this little bit here or something, and then, yeah, as I said, put a photo or something of Katie with myself, and do the same for the boys. So I just wanted to explain that. So now we get into the part that I absolutely loathe. I really struggle sewing in signatures. If you've watched me for any length of time, you know that is the case. And I'm sure people will look and they cringe every time I try and do it. But anyway, that's okay. And this time I'm doing 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which I very rarely do. But because it's so big, I wanted something that was going to be a little bit more sturdy for the pages. So I am going to, what I might do is just sew the first one in, which will be the last. I always start from the back and go forward. I don't know whether I've heard that before, that's the way you should do it, or whether that's just something that I have found easier. That's just the way that I do it. So we'll need our template. I'm just going to get this journal out of the way for a minute. We need our template, which is this. Okay. Always remember that you've got to make sure you've got your signature the right way around. So the top here. Now I haven't really got, oh well, here I have. Now in each of the signature, in one of the signatures in each of their books, I've put a beautiful book plate of roses, because roses are my favorite flower. So I will mention that as well. I just want them to know as much about me, you know, even from, you know, where I've come from and growing up and all that sort of thing. I mean, they know a lot anyway, but you know, kids are kids and they forget it. And yeah, just want it to be a really special journal for them. So just make sure that your signature is going top to bottom, and your template is top to bottom, and that your spine is top to bottom. If you don't have a cradle, a journaling cradle, get an old book or an old phone book if you've got one, something where you can put your signature down in the V. Okay, now just let me make sure that that rose, yep, that's fine. And Katie's signatures, I really don't have any smaller pages at the moment, because I thought I might just do some flips in them as well. I just want to put that rose one pretty much center, and I didn't think of that. Okay, so this isn't going to fit in there. Well, let's see what I can do here. Okay, so I've taken one end off. Now it's not going to be as stable as it normally is, and I just need to see if that's going to work. So I need to find the center of my signature, which is here. Okay, and what you need to do is make sure that it's pushed down well into that cradle. Okay, you need to get your template. Now I'm going to have to stand up to do this so that I can actually see what I'm doing and show you at the same time. I'm just trying to see if those holes are going to miss those struts in the middle, which they are. Okay, so I've got the top at the top of the signature. Okay, I've got that pushed down. Now you need an awl, and mine is here. And what you're going to do is you're going to follow those marks that I put, and you're going to just, yeah, I don't know whether this is going to work. Yeah, it is, I think. Yep, okay. And you're just going to push straight down on those holes. I like to just make sure that the awl has gone through. Just push a hole in those, and the fact that you're going straight down should make it easier for you to sew your signatures in. I did say should, because you've got to watch me do it yet. And I always make it look so hard. All right, so that is the last signature, yes. All right, so I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to sew that one in just to show you, and then off camera I will do the rest, because I will not put you through watching me do all of that. But I just wanted to show you one at least. Okay. All right, so I'm keeping it still at the top here so that I don't get confused. So just always check, because I have done that before. I've sewn signatures in upside down. I had to go and take them all out again. Now, I can use any color thread. I'm just going to use a fairly neutral one, and the one that I like, Polyester Top Stitch thread. It's really quite strong, so I'm going to need quite a bit to sew in these signatures. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have I'm going to have the threads. So when you sew in a signature, I normally start and have threads in the inside of the signature hanging, so you can hang beads or whatever. I don't want to do that this time. I want to have all the excess threads on the inside so that you don't see them. Okay, it will make sense in a minute. Now I just need to get my needle. So I just use a tapestry needle, and you'll need some form of clips just to hold all your pages in place, just to make life a little bit easier for yourself. So trying not to move this, so I want all the holes just to be lined up. You'll need to clip. Well, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but this will just make your life a little bit easier if you do so. So just clip your pages, okay? I need to get some of those bigger, clips because I like them. So I'm just going to use these for now. Oh, really got the shakes today. I'm not sure what's going on. Okay. Alrighty. Now, you need to grab your spine, and we're going to sew it into this one here. So we're skipping every second one, okay? And it's not, you're not really going to notice on this side if we're skipped. Even though I have put the holes through, I don't think we're going to notice that. And actually, make sure you sew it to the right piece. This is where I want to sew it, to here, because this is going to be seen, not the other side. Okay, so I'm going to thread my needle, and we're going to start in the middle hole. Okay, I don't know, I generally like to double this up. You don't have to because it is strong enough, but let me just have a look. I may not even have enough to do the whole signature. Let's have a look. We'll get started. Okay, so this is going to be sewn in the book like this. Okay, so we want to come through here. Yes, we want to come through here first. So this is the middle, and it's the last signature. Okay. As I said, I haven't done one of these for such a long time. I'm questioning whether I'm doing it right now. Okay, and then we're going to come in the center here. And as I said, because we've done the hole straight down, it should be easier. And of course, the first hole, I can't even get it in. But this is, I struggle with this every time, guys. And I don't know why. It's just, I don't know, there's always something, isn't there, that we don't particularly like doing, and mine is actually binding a journal. Okay, so one thing you need to do is make sure that you don't lose this thread. You don't want that one pulling all the way through. So what I might even do is I'm going to clip that. Can. Just going to clip that down here to hopefully just hold it so that it doesn't pull through. Okay. All right, so we've gone through there. Now, and I don't know whether this is particularly, I'm probably teaching you all bad habits. We're going to go here, in through this one and out the back, in through there, and then we've got to find our next hole, which is there. Okay, pull that through. Try and keep it as taut as you can as you go, so you don't have as much that you've got to sort out at the end. Okay, so we've done that. Then we're going to come up this end again. So we're going to come in through here, in through there. Just going to pull my threads. Hopefully I'm on screen. It's a bit hard with this book being so big. And we're going to come through down here, if I can find where the hole is. There it is. See, I don't understand why it's so hard. I just poked that through from the inside to the out. Okay. So sometimes what I do is I get the awl and I put the needle in after the awl and it just comes through. I don't know. I don't know what I do wrong. Excuse me, and I don't know why I find it so difficult, but I do. But I get there in the end, so that's all that matters. Okay, so now we're going to come back into this hole. Okay, so just pull your threads that you put through before, pull them to one side. You don't want to split your threads. Okay, now I've got a knot in my cotton, so just make sure you don't knot your cotton. And we're going to go up and we're going to skip the center, and I'm going to take it to here, to the second last hole. Oh, better make sure I put it in the, always remember. Okay, what have I done, guys? What have I done? I've got to put it in here. So once again, just pull your threads to the side so you don't split them. Put that through there. Okay, so we're going to pull that all the way through, and we're going to skip the center and we're going to come in on this second one here. I'm going to go right through to there, pull that through. So you can see it's all loose at the moment. Don't worry about that, because that just makes it easier to handle the signature. Clipping the stray strings at the end will make it easier without you having to worry of you pulling them through. And then we can tighten the strings or the threads on the signature once we've got them all sewn in. So then we're going to go through here again, and I can't get it again. So this is just my rule of thumb. I find it easier. Put your awl in there, and sorry if I put my head in the way, I just need to be able to see. And then I just follow the awl. Oops. Try and follow the awl. Right through. Okay. So pull that. Now we're going to go up here. Okay, I think I may have done that wrong, but anyway, it'll all work out. We're going to go in there and through our spine. If I can find the hole, which I think is there. And then pull that through. And then we're going to come back through the one that we just did. So we're going to come back through here. Once again, just make sure you don't split those threads that you've already put in. Come back through here. Back through this hole. And then back through the middle. Back through the middle, like that. And then back through that center hole. So just always be mindful that you've got all your threads there and you don't want to split them. Now you can see I've got the piece of thread that's going through the center of the signature. We want one thread to go either side of that. So like that, okay? But now what we need to do is we need to make sure that these are all really taut and your signature is nice and tight within that, on that, sorry, I can't even speak now, on that spine. So you can see they're all sort of pulling tight there, and this needs to be pulled tight there. And we've still got one that's really loose, and then we've got to look on the inside and make sure that it's all nice and taut in there as well. So what have I got here? What have I done? Here we go. That, and then that. Why is this one not, why is that one not pulling? So they're all nice and taut inside there, but I just need to get this sorted out here. Go. No, that's not it. And then we go here. We go here. There we go. Okay, so you just work your way up. No, that's not it. That's not it. And that's not it. So then I need to pull these, I think. Yep. And this one, what is going on with this one? I'm not sure why that one's not. So you've just got to find your strings and make sure that that's all taut. So what I'll do is I'm going to, so I don't put you through all that pain, I'm going to go off and sort this out, and I'll be back and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so what I wasn't doing was I needed to go inside here and pull some of those threads to be able to pull these back taut. Okay, so that's all taut. So we've got one thread either side of here, and we're just going to do, so I'm going to cut this a little bit shorter. I don't need that amount of length there. So we're going to go left over right and tie that, and then we're going to go right over left and pull that tight. Okay, now I'm going to trim them to about there for now, and then we will do the rest of the signatures. But then that's what it looks like. Okay, it's all nice and taut in there, and then that will sit in our journal. So I'm going to go off and sew the rest of the signatures in. Hopefully that showed you that you know, I have trouble doing it, but it can be done. It's just a little bit of fiddling around. It's just one of those things in making a journal that I struggle with. I've been doing it for over 4 years and I still struggle. It's just what it is, and I'm always happy with the end result once I get to the end result. So it's just a matter of a little bit of patience and persistence, and you can get there too. So I'll be back shortly once I've sewn all of these in. Okay guys, that was ridiculous. That took me over an hour to get them all sewn in, but they are done. You can see they're all nicely sewn in there. Okay, so the next step that I do is I want to, this is the reason I had extra up the top here. Some people leave that and they pull the threads. I just want that neat, and I'm thinking I might actually put some cheesecloth down here and have it sticking out the top, and then that'll just strengthen the spine again as well, and then I can pull the threads on the cheesecloth. So what I need to do, just need to get the middle of the journal, and I'm just going to lay this down, and I'm going to glue this and then just press all this down so we have a nice neat edge there, top and bottom. And I'm going to use the Tiger Grip. Actually, no, I might use the 3-in-1 glue. So yeah, I think I'll use that one. Just trying to get all those threads out of the way so we don't stick them down as well. Okay, so that's that bit done. So you can see that just gives it a nice clean edge there. Now, I think I'm going to put some cheesecloth down through here. I've just got some coffee dyed cheesecloth here that I'm going to use, and let me just see. I don't want to get the selvage edge, so I just need, it can be a little bit rougher, roughly cut, doesn't really matter. So I just want to cut this up here. It doesn't matter if this is all really roughly cut, because I just cut pieces of this and use it for layering. So we'll just approximately cut that. Okay, now I've got 2 layers here, so I think we'll just use one. Okay. Now I'm just going to put this here, and then I can trim off any excess. So I'm just going to glue this down in on top of the spine here. I always struggle to get this glue out. I'm just going to put it down and try and straighten it out as much as I can. same thing, you don't have to do this. I just like my, you know, just threads hanging and making it look a little bit older. Okay, so that's that. We don't have to wait for that to dry, because what we're going to do now is we're going to glue this whole signature in here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip this wing out of the way, both of the wings out of the way. I'm just having a look. This is just the part that I struggle with as well, just getting this all lined up. So that's pretty much where we want it to go, like that. Yep, okay. So I'm going to add glue to here, and I'll add some more glue to here as well. Now I'm just thinking, because that's really hard to get out, whether to use this Tiger Grip. It's really strong. It actually works on carpets and leather, so I think that this will be the good one to use. So I'm going to use this one, and it comes out a lot easier. So I'm just going to add some glue onto here. So we want to make sure that we get the sides, and we're going to catch all those threads in the glue. And then I'm just going to add a little bit extra on top of here. Okay. Once again, I'm going to stand up to do this, and I actually think I might do it this way. Is I'm just going to hold it up like this so that I can see where it's got to sit. It's got to sit in between those two front covers, just to get it partially squared up, and then I'm just going to pull it down. Now I just need to make sure that the spine isn't impeding the covers, which it's not. It looks like I've got it right. So I'm just going to press that down, and then in between each signature, I'm going to, if I can find my bone folder, and I'm just going to push down in there as well. Apply pressure. All that down. And just make sure again that that's all going to sit nicely, which it is. So you can see there That's all in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply more pressure in between there, because I just want to make sure that that's all pushed down and adhered. This is another nerve-wracking part as far as I'm concerned with this type of journal, is just making sure that you've got your spine all in there correctly. Now, what I want to do is I also want to glue these wings down, okay? So I'm going to use fabric glue. Same thing, this is really hard to get out, but I'm going to glue this down, and then I'm going to really burnish that down. And then once I've done that, I'm going to bulldog clip the signatures, and yeah, I think probably the signatures, just so that they stand up, or bulldog clip those and then put books or something here so that this sort of stands up and it all just adheres as is. What have I done with that big bulldog clip? Not sure what I've done with it. Anyway, I will find, oh, here it is over here. Yeah, so just something like this. But what I'll do first is I'll put some fabric glue in here. So here, so that's why I folded that, took that out further, if you can see, and folded that under. So when we put our end papers, so I've got glue everywhere. I don't know how that happened. Let me close this one up. When we put end papers in here, that will all be pretty much covered up. So that's why I did it that way. Okay, and I have no idea, I've got glue and I've got paint on here. I was doing some mixed media yesterday. I have no idea how that is even on there because I didn't have that near it. Obviously something's still wet over here on my table. Anyway, that's all right, which just means I have to cover that up. Okay, get this glue to cooperate with me. Oh, just it does not want to come out. I don't have very strong hands. So I'm basically just covering this fabric wing here with glue, and I want to get it all in the crease of the spine as well. So I just want to try and get really good coverage and get the stuff to come out. To do it this way, I think. Go back down. Oh. Okay, so we're going to lay all that down like that. Get the bone folder and we're going to push down in there. We want that to sit in the, what do you call that, the gutter of the cover again. Okay, so yep, that's good. Seems to be all glued down. And then I'm going to do this other side then as well. All right, so they're both glued in there. Okay, so just need a A bit more glue up here on the top of this. I just don't have a lot of strength in my hands to squeeze these type of glues. They're really good glues, but they really are quite hard. I need to put them in a cup upside down so that they're ready to come out when you want to use them. So I'm just going to put that there. I'm just going to squash that down. Okay. And so there we have our hidden spine sewn in. All right, what I need to do is I need to let this sit for a bit and dry before we start playing around with the journal. So I will bulldog clip these. Okay, so that it sits just straight upright. It's obviously going to just sit there on its own and just let it dry in there, and so that it stays attached. So what I'll do is I'll leave it with you today. So this is the binding part of the putting the journal together. So then when we come back in the next video, we're going to do our end papers, and then I may even just do my first page in there. So hopefully this has helped someone with putting a journal together. Stay tuned for the next video, and we will complete putting this journal together. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. Until next time, I hope you get a little bit of creative time in. See you soon. Bye-bye.